Good morning.
Morning, Kathy. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Fabulous and improving.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
Eva, I found my note to call you at 10 a.m. the other morning, and I didn't call you at 10 a.m. and I'm sorry about that. I called you after that, but it worked out okay because I think you were just finishing up with breakfast. But I say that to let you know I'm not putting crap on Post-it notes anymore. It's making it to my calendar. It
I
makes a
did the
difference.
same thing. It does. Yes.
It does.
Yes.
It's like have your one place
Yeah.
that
Well,
you go to. Yeah.
that's right. Yes. I've had so many stickers that they get lost anyway. Excuse me. They get lost,
Yeah.
or they just get stuck with something else, and you can't find them. Yes.
Right.
I've gone through that. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I'm getting more organized with my, definitely my daily method of operation and getting everything laid out in my calendar each day. And, it makes a difference. So you're not overbooking yourself. My daughter has a really bad habit of that. I'm not too bad. I usually catch it before it gets to that point, but I have done it.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So how's everyone? Any exciting news? Anything going on? What do we have? Claire. Morning, Claire. Michelle. Morning, Michelle.
Morning.
Rob's on 3 days in a row. He's going to join us all the time. I'm loving it. You
I
add
actually had to be reminded this morning.
You add so much to the call, Rob. I want you to know we do appreciate you because you're one of those people that I can count on for knowing all the details. I can get you. It's like I can get you to the book, and you can not only get us to the chapter, but the sentence within the paragraph that talks about it. So I really do appreciate that. I am not that person. Definitely more
None of us are that person.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but we know a guy.
We know a guy who's that person.
Yes, yes, and
Well, flattery will get you everywhere.
very happy to call him my friend. So, good morning, Claire. How's everything going with work at home and all of that? You look a little stressed.
Huh?
You look like you're a little stressed this morning.
No, I'm good. Haven't had my sunrise yet. I'm doing really good. I've been plugging in. I have 2 guests that are going to be on ILA that confirmed.
All right.
Tickets. So
awesome.
I got both of them are my potential business partners. One is Alma, the one that just bought the couples pack. And then, if y'all listened to Mark Davenport the other day, whatever day it was, yesterday, whatever day, days are running together. He mentioned purchasing their ticket. It's an investment. So I purchased one for Erin, the girl that's at the one that's still on the fence. And she's agreed because she's off on Friday, so she's agreed to attend. So I bought her ticket and I bought Alma's, and so both of them are going to be attending.
That is awesome. That's great.
I joined several groups on Facebook, and I took a Eric Worre training yesterday.
Oh, cool. Very good. Very good. It looked like the Eric Worre training was really his book. It was
It's those guys. It was Paul Quinn and Vargas, whatever. I can't think of his first name.
Okay. So it was good. Was it worth it?
Vargas, Paul Quinn, Eric Worre. It's called the Advance Your Reach workshop. and got lots of notes. But I had some internet issues, so it kept kind of coming, you know, cycling out. So I kept missing a few things. But I did get an email with the recorded version. So
Oh, very cool. Awesome. So any key takeaways or any aha moments, any, you know, oh my gosh, this was amazing?
yes.
Yeah.
And they talked about how to become a powerful communicator and gave their steps on how to do that. Paul Quinn shared signature talks and how to know your audience, and then also to what problems are you going to solve for them. And it gave you a storyboard, storybraid framework. And it kind of gives you different, you give them heart, you give them head, you give them hands, and then you give them heart again. So it tells you pretty much kind of what, you know, tell your story.
Yeah.
Opening with your heartfelt story, and then give them the content, something new, something which is kind of like your presentation, and then call to action. What are the next steps? And only give them one next step. Don't give them a whole bunch. Just give them one. And then
Right.
at the end, you reconnect with them with another heart story or kind of a closing story of what, you know, why you do what you do. So and then he kind of went detailed on each of those steps, and it was good. I got a lot of nuggets, but then again, like I said, I had internet issues, so I do have to go back.
Well, that's awesome. And that's another thing. Okay, the next step, I like that. And that's what, you know, what I mentioned to Eva the other day is the baby steps, and just focus on that, you know, that one step. If you're looking at a whole staircase, it's overwhelming. It can be, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to make it up there. Especially, okay, think of if you just had surgery and something that you need is at the top of the stairs and nobody's home. Okay, think of it like that. And it's like, oh my gosh. Well, if I can do this one step at a time, maybe by the end of the day, I'll be up at the top of the stairs.
Compound
Trying to
effect.
figure out how to
Aaron
come back
Hardy's
down.
compound effect.
Yes, but
Consistency.
yeah. So just don't worry about all the other steps that you know come behind it. Just do that next step, whatever it is, and that goes with working your business personally. It's like you can have that whole list of things to do, like, you know, Jake, you know, and Miles, you know, they've got their whole list of things to do, but you know, eventually you'll get it in an order and figure out what order works for you, and then just do the next thing and check it off. And I don't care if it's make your bed, check it off. That way you feel like you accomplished something. And you know, it's really important to have that, you know, I did this, I did this. I've got a yearly thing I do. I always put it in the back of my calendar. I say that. Let's see if I did it this year. I did. I always do it. And I'll put down yearly things that I want to have done. And so 2020 at our house, you know, just, and so you can do it for your business too. You know, at our house, I want all these things done. And I've got a list of maybe 10 or 15 things. Keep in mind, this is an ongoing list. Some of these things have been on my list for 5 years and they still haven't got done, but it's on my list. Like, I think I actually took it off the list now, one of the things, because it was like, okay, it's not happening this year, so I didn't even put it on there. But then I'll also have completed books, you know, the books that I've completed and stuff like that. You know, because it is a good accomplishment to be able to check that off that you did it. So, you know, some of the things on my list for the house already, since I've been off, you know, or home, you know, working from home, I've been able to check off some of those things. They're getting done. And then I also have a list for Robinson Road, which was my mother's house, and some of the things that need to get done there. And you know, just being able to check off those lists. But you can do it for your daily, weekly, monthly, whatever. I don't I have daily. I don't do, I guess the monthly would be our goals. So, anyways, something to look at. So you only have to focus on that next thing. You don't have to focus on the big picture.
Just a
Because if you-
reminder, today Tara is doing the product overview at 6 p.m. And also Casey is leading the Pearl and Above at 9 p.m. So
Great.
this is Wednesday's our busy day. There's a lot going on.
Very good.
One more thing real quick on yesterday's training. I just looked at it. He said to do the Scooby-Doo. Have you heard the Scooby-Doo before?
No.
Before you do a presentation, he says to pause and look both ways. Look this way, and then lean in like you're going to really tell them something, captivate them. And it says, and you tell them, I'm going to teach you, and then you do the Scooby-Doo, and then you say, and include a time element. You tell them what you're going to teach them, and then you do a time for the next 20 minutes. So that way they get you got their attention because you're kind of leaning towards them. So that was I was like, dang, that's easy. I can do that.
Claire, is this the one at 11 o'clock? Claire, is this the one at 11 o'clock for Eric Worre that he's supposed to be on yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah. It was called Advance Your Reach Workshop.
Oh, yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
I was going to miss it. Yeah, I missed it.
It was
was
actually 12 o'clock because it
12
was,
o'clock.
I think, yeah, it was 12 o'clock our time because it was 10 o'clock their time in California.
Their time? Yeah.
12 o'clock, yeah.
Okay. Well, I
But
wrote it
for
at
2
11
hours,
o'clock. Okay.
so-
Oh, okay.
So I had it on
Yeah.
my work computer.
Well, I missed it. I put down 11 o'clock. Okay, well,
Well, 11 o'clock is when they're having the calls that are replacing the BOC calls at 9 a.m. So our 9 a.m. calls have been moved to 11 a.m.
Yeah,
Right.
that one's that's the countdown to convention.
Correct.
Yeah, and on that call yesterday was, it was basically, put your phone down and get to work kind of thing. So actually, I just turned my phone off and got to work because she was like, okay, send out this message. I took a picture of the message. My battery was dying on my phone. So then I was sending out, some messages to some people and following up, and got a few things accomplished there with even people that had dropped off, and that's, thank you, Rob, for talking about customers, because when we were talking about customers the other day, I noticed another one of my customers dropped off, and this was a very loyal, oh my gosh, what has happened, because it's super loyal, one of my first customers, and reached out to him, and he had some credit fraud issues with his credit card, and so they canceled his card, and he had a new card for me. So I'm going to get that, get him reset up today. So I was able to have the conversation about the Prime, because he was a Prime member, and that he might even be receiving, an extra package of something that maybe he could share with his wife, because he does not share. But I said, if it's the 5-day and go 5 kit, share that with your wife and let her try our skincare. But
See, that was good, Kathy. You were able to save one that
yeah,
didn't go through. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so that's good to check back, and and if I would have done what Claire had told us, which was to scroll up and see whose credit cards, because it's in our back office. You can check that as often as you want, and it's there, and it'll show who's canceled their auto ships, who's canceled whatever, what's happened. And then you can call them and get more detailed information from your customer and say, hey, I noticed, your auto ship canceled, or I noticed your order failed. Did something happen to your credit card? Did it expire? Do we need to get updated information or what? And just start that conversation. So,
Kathy,
yes.
Kathy, Are you aware that county no longer holds their credit card numbers? You have to call each and every time now for the credit card number.
Not for auto ship.
Not for auto ship.
I mean, they
Yeah,
have a credit
right.
card for auto ship.
Yeah, but everybody was talking about yesterday that not for day before yesterday that they didn't have that many auto ships. So I didn't know that you had that many
Oh.
auto ships.
Oh, I only do auto ship.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tell them because they can cancel it at any time, but definitely do auto ship. Anything else is a nightmare. You don't want to have to, you don't, life gets too busy. You can't remember to, do this, do this. Even my husband has got up on, got up to speed with, automatic bill pay and stuff like that. He was the hardest sell on getting up to speed on anything that had to do with taking money out of his account.
I'm
Well,
right there with him.
right.
I have to
So
do everything for Larry. Yeah.
what we had to do is change his way of thinking and say, okay, the ones that you can pay with your credit card, at least they have access to your credit card. You can put it on a small balance, a small limit credit card to protect yourself and pay all those bills out of that credit card. And then you just have the one bill to pay, the credit card. So he finally agreed. I don't know exactly how he's got it set up, but that was one of my suggestions to him. Just put it on get a credit card that doesn't have a high limit where somebody can't take advantage and, and run it up. But you can, a lot of bills you can pay with the credit card number. So,
Michelle, I have a question from Michelle. Have you talked to Susanna?
or Amanda. Amanda is making comments on things right now.
I have not. I've talked to Amanda, and she's just been focusing on her coaching business. And Susanna, I reached out to her and the
Cancel
last
her
time.
auto ship. That's why I'm asking. She canceled,
Oh, okay.
and I think whoever her business, I don't know who the someone else with the same last name canceled his auto ship too.
Okay.
So
There's
not
some.
sure what's going on there, but hopefully she's okay.
Yeah. Chances are it's just financial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's just to reach out to see if she's okay. Kind of
Yeah.
do a wellness check, I guess you could call it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, 'cause
I will
it
talk to
happens, and we all know that. So
Yeah. Well, I had noticed on some of the posts that we had Amanda, I thought it was our Amanda, liking some of the posts and stuff.
No, it's a different Amanda.
Different Amanda? Okay.
Yep.
Bummer.
Yeah, she's
And
just
yeah, we
focusing
gotta,
on her coaching.
Right.
So she's doing some type of a
Life coach thing.
class. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that she's focusing on.
Okay.
But she said that she's not going anywhere, and she'll be back. So
Yeah.
I told her.
And
that's what
is she still
she
using
get
the
it.
product and everything? Do you know?
As far as I know.
Okay. Awesome. Good deal. Yeah, I did some classes yesterday. I have a coach right now through Lee Hecht Harrison. It's through Toyota had offered it, and anything that Toyota offered, I took full advantage of. So I've got 3 months of training with a coach on, just whatever kind of skills or, just getting my resume together, getting LinkedIn set up properly, some things like that. So I'll be able to share some information that I'm learning from that. And just to see what's out there. So I took a few online classes yesterday. I've got one today at 9 a.m. I've got, just learning about LinkedIn. I did some training on it a few years back, and got some good information. But of course, if you don't use it, you lose it. And so I'm not familiar with it right now. I can stumble my way through it, but maybe I'll get, I will definitely get some more training that I can share with you guys on LinkedIn. And I feel comfortable with this coach. She told me how tough she is, and I told her, that's okay. I kicked the Sears repairman out of my house the day before, so I think we'll be fine together. So anyway, so we'll see how that goes. I think she's got some good information so far. I spent an hour on the phone with her yesterday, and then I did another few hours of training on their website. So a lot of good information. Of course, a lot of it pertains to getting a job or that sort of thing, but there is some good stuff out there that helps with networking, and that's what I'm really focused on, especially LinkedIn. I know that Casey and David Daniel spent a lot of time on LinkedIn, and especially David Daniel got a lot of good contacts, and even some of his business partners came from LinkedIn. So I know there's, and when I was messing with it with them, trying to figure it out, it was amazing. By doing some simple tasks, I was immediately getting involved in conversations with people that I didn't know. So the people that are in LinkedIn are definitely looking for income opportunities.
It's
So,
a completely different
yeah,
pond.
right,
Seriously, because people on Facebook are a little bit more social. This LinkedIn is more business related. In
right,
fact, I have a
absolutely.
really good training from Zach Fisher. We went to one of the regionals up in Dallas, and he taught on LinkedIn, and that's where he goes for
Yeah.
his reaching out. He's not on Facebook. I mean, I think he is on Facebook, but he mainly deals with LinkedIn.
Yeah, well, you can look at Facebook as a good place to gather customers too, because people on Facebook are talking about, things that they're dealing with, whether it be, having to go to the hospital again for, an injection or whatever. They're spreading that information on Facebook. They're having friendly conversations with their friends. It's and they're sharing life issues. So yes, with Facebook, you're gonna be able to say, how long have you been dealing with that? Oh my gosh, I didn't know that you had issues with migraines, and starting those conversations, right? Now, but LinkedIn, like you said, Michelle, it's not that at all. They're talking about, what they excel in, if they're, and they're looking for work. They're looking for income. So it is a whole different pond, and making the connections there. And, if you're able to search for something that you might have in common, what schools you went to, I noticed you took some classes at North Harris County, or now it's Lone Star. What kind of classes did you take? What years were you there? Maybe we were in some of the same classes, just having conversations with them. And, so what are you doing now? What did you do with that degree that you got at, Sam Houston State? What are you doing now? Whatever. And, or I noticed you're working at, HP. Got a friend that works there. And you can strike up conversations with those people as well, but it's different conversations. And so I'll learn more about that and I'll share as soon as I, get more comfortable with it.
That'll be awesome because I definitely want to tap into the LinkedIn market, I guess.
mhm.
That's one of my goals as well, Kathy. I took a training, but I still got a lot to learn, and that's one of the ponds I want to fish in.
Right. Right. Well, like I said, I got away from it. I didn't um, I don't even really know how to navigate, depending on what you're on too. If I'm on my phone trying to navigate the system or on the computer and it all looks different. And so, baby steps, I'll figure it out. But today I take the second course in LinkedIn. So we'll see what doors those open for me.
And if someone is struggling on how to strike up a conversation, they write books on icebreakers. I mean, I was given a book whenever I was doing a small group Bible study for different group leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Questions to ask, whenever you start the meetings, just have little icebreakers. So it's a great book to look through and get some ideas of what questions to ask people. Now, initially, the first couple chapters are pretty basic, generic. As you get towards chapters 10, 11, towards the end of the book, they're a lot more thought-provoking. It takes a lot more. But anyway, it's good to maybe pick up a book and just flip through some of those and say, hey, yeah, that's a good icebreaker. I think I'll use that one.
Oh, yeah. I'm writing that down. So it's a book about icebreakers. Okay, good.
Yeah, just a book full of questions, just hundreds and hundreds of questions that you can strike up a conversation with.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a how
What's the
to
name of
say
that
it
book?
Hmm?
What's the
I
name of
don't
the book?
remember, Claire. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
It was a while back. It was over a year or two ago, but
Oh, okay.
I found it pretty fruitful. But
Sounds
they're out
like
there.
something
Just
I would like to see.
Right. Well, and there's there's a lot of them out there. I was looking to see if I've got one right here, but books on how to say it. I've got books on that because sometimes I need to. It's like being a kind of blunt and direct person. Sometimes I need to know how to say things not so, direct, depending on my target audience. And so I have a book on how to say it. It's like, this is what I want to say. But, too, you can Google things like that as well and get, some good information. I always tell Eva.
Audible, there's a book called How to Talk to Anyone, and that is a good one. But you can, on like YouTube, you can Google or you could look up anything, and there's tons of videos.
Okay, that's good.
Hey, can I ask you guys to drop some Audible recommendations on books, because I'm running out of Audible books to get. I apologize. There's like 80,000 of them or something there, but
Wow.
I got too many credits and I don't know what to do with all of them right now.
I wish I had credits. Actually, that list that what's his name? Fraser
Brooks.
Fraser Brooks.
Yeah, Fraser Brooks gave a list the other day when he was on training.
Right.
Yes, he
I
did.
think I have a screenshot of that, but you probably already read them all. But I'll send it to you.
I know I've gone through all but Fraser's books. Yes.
Well, it's not his. It's just a list of the ones that he recommends us reading. Have you seen that?
Yeah, the last two were the ones he wrote.
Right. Oh, so then you already know that list. Okay, never mind.
No, I saw it. I appreciate it.
I like.
I was hoping somebody else had run across a couple extra ones somewhere along the line.
The Shut Up and Listen by Tillman Fertitta. And
Dr. Joe has a collection. It's hold on. It's Becoming Supernatural. You Are the Placebo and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 in 1. I'm in the middle of listening to that.
That's a good collection. The only one I hadn't seen on that was the last one you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Go for No, The 7 Levels of Communication,
The
Atomic
Traveler's
Habits.
Gift. I think I have that one. Is that a good one?
Which one?
I need to listen to it. The
7 Levels of Communication.
no,
Atomic
Atomic
Habits.
Habit.
I haven't listened to it yet. I've got it. but I
Maybe
haven't-
that's one that I was looking to get, but I haven't got it yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell.
Okay.
Donald Trump.
17. Donald Trump.
Think big and kick ass in business and life.
There you go. Don't know that one. That sounds interesting.
This one I listened to when I first got into Kayani, and I need to go back and listen to it. It's Grant Cardone, Be Obsessed or Be Average.
I've read that. It's
Excellent
excellent.
book. Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah. All of Grant Cardone's. If you can get any of his, I'd love Be Obsessed or Be Average. Okay, and Getting to Yes isn't one. You Are a Badass. I've got that. Everyday
have that one, too.
Millionaires. Chris Hogan, Everyday Millionaires. I just love to hear him talk.
Extreme Ownership.
Yep. I've been through that one just recently.
The Third Door, The 4 Agreements. You told us about the 4 Agreements. I've got that. The Law of Human Nature.
What's the third door, Kathy?
That's Alex Benayan. That he was at. Was it
GoPro.
GoPro?
That's a
and I'm
really
reading
good
that
one.
now.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
I love that one. It's a good. It's a
That's
good one.
I like it. I
He's
got
just
that
got
one
so much energy.
The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles.
I've read that. That's a good
Okay,
one.
here's it's an Audible original. It's the ultimate Jim Rohn library. It's 11 hours and 23 minutes.
Wow.
Whoa.
So
That would
that's
be a good one.
What's that one called, Kathy?
the ultimate Jim Rohn library, and it's an Audible original.
Ooh, that should be good.
And it's 11 hours and 23 minutes. So for a free credit, you've got 11 hours and 23 minutes of Jim Rohn.
Nice.
My grandkids like to listen to Audible too. And we have Way of the Warrior Kid by Jocko Willink. Excellent book.
Yeah. He's the one from the
Extreme Ownership.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't know he had another book. I know he had the part 2, Deuteronomy or whatever it's called.
This is a kid's book.
Oh, they have a kid's book.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
We were
Has
listening
anybody-
to it.
Anybody read that Eric Thomas book from, he was at GoPro last year? Year before?
yeah.
something? Yeah. I never got his book, but I was always curious about it because he's really good on stage.
I don't know if I haven't stumbled across it yet here. Finding My Virginity, Richard Branson. I haven't read it yet, but you know, he's Richard Branson is a huge businessman, owns over 300 something companies.
Yeah.
Oh, and yesterday Brian Pinso put a post on Facebook. It was Andy Andrews, and if you have not seen that, watch it. It's The Butterfly Effect. I love Andy Andrews, and I mentioned on his post that the book The Traveler's Gift. That's an amazing book too. It's just a good read, and that's by Andy Andrews, and I've got it on my Audible as well.
Andy's great.
Yeah.
Go for No.
Oh, here's one my son recommended: How to Become a Rainmaker by Jeffrey Fox.
Okay.
Are you writing this down, Terry?
I am.
They're going too fast for me.
I'm writing down all the ones I haven't touched. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Oh my God. I need y'all to write. Everybody get 5 books and send them.
Right.
But I'll screenshot what I have
Okay.
and put them out there.
Yeah.
Some of them are for kids. Some of them are just like The War Room is excellent.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Is that,
Um,
that's based on the movie, or the movie's based on
Yeah,
the book?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a
It's
good
really
movie
good.
too.
Make Your Bed
I slept
by
through it.
William McRaven, and that's a good one. And it's a quick read. It's just a little book. Make Your Bed. High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard, or however you say his name.
For
The
sure.
4-Hour Work Week. The 4-Hour Work Week was another one that was recommended by my son. I have not read that one yet. I read that Rainmaker one, and I don't know. Apparently I didn't love it, because I would have told you guys about it.
The 4-Hour
Um,
Work Week, you'll like that because it's all about like cutting down your actual hours and how you can pass things to other people, or like outsourcing, like when Casey outsourced like
Okay,
some of his messaging to these people in India and different things.
right.
Like, amazing ways to kind of free up your
Yeah,
time and still
right.
get results.
Okay, yeah, and my son's big on that, and he hires out a lot of things and takes full advantage of even the apps on your phone. I mean, he's got people that'll come over and put together crap that he buys from IKEA, and while he goes to lunch or something. So
And
Kathy,
that book is
Kathy,
pretty unique. It's a good one.
what's that,
Kathy, I'm
Rob?
going to sign out. Thank you, everybody. I'm down to 8% on my phone, so I'm going to have to cut out a little early. But anyway, thanks for all the info today.
All right,
All right.
thank you for
Take care,
joining
Rob.
us. Talk
I'll
to
have
you.
a good day.
See you tomorrow. Have a good
Bye.
one. Oh, hey, watch
Bye-bye.
watch the flyover today.
Oh, yeah, I've read about it. Thanks.
Okay, that's important stuff. That's good. I think absolutely take advantage of it. Watch the flyover. If you, I think it's between 12 and 1, 12:30 and 1, something like that. And so
Yeah.
go outside and take a break. Okay, back to books. Grant Cardone. If you have okay, Be Obsessed or Be Average. That book is, I thought it told me how long it is on here, but it's not. But it's like several hours, and
It's
he's
like
got
about
so much
3. Yeah.
extra content in there.
Yeah.
The 10X Rule, another Grant Cardone.
Yep. Those are the two I own. They're beautiful
Huh?
books. Those are great books because they're like, compared to every other author, they will just like, they're an alarm clock going off in your ear.
Right.
They will wake
right,
you up from whatever sleep you're in.
Right. Even the Millionaire Booklet. That's just a booklet.
I have that one, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not this one, not making my first 10 million. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good little booklet too. But
There's another one. Uh-huh.
yeah, but the one with Grant Cardone on the front of it, the Millionaire Booklet, and it was just
Yeah.
something that he was at a party, and when he got home from the party, he just sat down and wrote that book. And I got Unshakable by Tony Robbins, which frustrated me because Tony Robbins reads the first chapter and then some other guy takes over, and then I never finished reading it. Sell or Be Sold is Grant Cardone. It was very good. I love any Grant Cardone books. And I've got Good to Great. Why some companies make the leap. I don't know. I read it, but apparently it wasn't great.
No, I've got that book, and it was actually recommended to me by somebody in the group. And
Oh, okay.
I've now read it twice. I've got the written version and the Audible, and I didn't realize I had one before I got the other. So
Oh, okay. Well, maybe.
I have a free gift if anybody needs it. How about that?
Right. There you go. Another one, the one that, and I don't know if it's available on Audible or not, but the one that David Nieves always talks about, and I probably have it right here, or not. dang it, I cannot remember the name of that book, but he's talking about, well, it's the guy in the war camps.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Somebody named Frankel? Somebody named
yes,
Viktor Frankl. There you go.
Okay,
There
it
you
was something
go.
Frankel, yeah.
yes. And man, that's a hard read
I
because
never read that one.
I haven't finished it because you got to really watch where you're reading it too. And I have I don't have it on Audible, so I don't even know if you can get it out there on Audible, but that'd probably be the way to go because I'll get part of the way through it and then I start bawling, and well, you can't read when you're crying.
Reading that one. Thanks for the heads up on that one.
Yeah. But it certainly makes you, whatever your current circumstances are, it certainly makes you appreciate whatever you've got.
Yep.
So, anyways.
These are good ones. A lot of good books there.
I
Yeah.
put my list out there on our page. The only one I don't recommend, and I didn't listen to the whole thing. I really tried. I really, 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 really tried, but it's Educated. And Sherry Passmore told me about it, and I tried. I really tried. I couldn't get into it, and I was just listening to it. And it was just a little bizarre.
What was it? Just too much information, or
you know what? I don't even remember, to tell you the
Okay.
truth. It seemed to be like going nowhere, and I couldn't. Maybe she was reading it, maybe listening and reading to it are two different things. I don't know.
right?
But
Okay.
yeah, that's the only one that I don't really recommend on my
Okay. That'll help. Thank you.
mhm.
I appreciate it.
Well, guys, say a prayer for my ex-mother-in-law today. She's in a really bad situation with her grandson, not any of my kids, but her grandson that has been staying with her and eating her out of house and home and charging up all of her credit cards and all that. Beat her up last night, and she's in the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
And and this was something I had the conversation with my daughter either earlier this week or the end of last week, telling her to get her father to get him out of there, even though it's not his kid either. I told her, my exact words was, it's your mother. Take care of your mother and get that kid out of there. So anyways, it didn't happen quick enough, and she's in the hospital. But so just
What's her name, Kathy? What's her
Linda.
name?
Linda. Yeah.
Okay.
So pray for Linda, and just that the whole situation gets handled, and I'm sure everything will be fine. And extra prayers for me today. It's the anniversary of my mother's death. It's been 7 years today, and
bless
just
her.
like it was yesterday. So
Mhm.
yeah. Anyways. And I pray for all of you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. And
I was going to let the rest of the group know too that we did lost Norma from the one Plano with stage 4 cancer, and also my customer Marcy, her son took away his life last week as well.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's been awful. It's just anyway, prayers for both of them, Norma and Marcy.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
And
Thank
I
you.
want to give thanks because Lexi got her COVID-19 test back and she came back negative. So we all had picnic lunch
Oh,
yesterday.
bless you. Yeah.
Yay.
She's in much better shape. It's the first time in 6 weeks that all of us have been knowing that we're all healthy enough to get together face to face.
Right.
So that was
What
a lot of fun.
a relief. What a huge relief. That's so awesome, Terry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very thankful.
Oh, very thankful. Yes. Oh my goodness, that virus is something else. they sent one on Facebook about this lady that she is pregnant and she has the virus, and they're having a hard time with her because of the baby. She's 5 months pregnant. So I don't
Yeah.
even know her name. I just saw it on Facebook. So
Mm,
a lot of things are happening. Oh, it just a lot of prayers that we need all the way around. And
right.
yeah, I'm waiting on my sister too. That of course her husband came out clear that he didn't have the virus, but she needs to be tested because we're afraid that because she has always had problems, respiratory problems. So we waited for her test too, and she comes back.
Mhm.
Hopefully that she won't have it.
Mm,
It's my sister Rosie.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
it just
Wow.
yeah. So
All
many
right,
things.
guys. Yeah, lots of prayers out there, and
Yeah.
and uh, and okay, lots of things to learn today on our. We got lots of you know, where we need to be supporting our people that are on the calls today too. And speaking of calls, I've got one coming up at 9 a.m. Another training. So I think that's my. Well, let me look at my calendar and see what it is. It's my LinkedIn training.
Kathy, you can feel free to share a couple of LinkedIn tips with us when you get off those.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I
Find
will.
just one or two to give us a clue.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I learned a few things yesterday, and we'll see what, you know, I can, key takeaways I can bring to you guys that I learned today. I'll
Be
bring them
awesome.
today.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right,
Okay.
guys. Have a terrific day.
All right.
Make it a
You
great
too.
day.
Thank you.
All
You
right.
too.
Right.
See y'all
Bye-bye.
later.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.